Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Set in the Hook TV. I'm your host Dylan Curry. So today I'm going to do a follow-up video on Texas rigging. I believe the video prior to this I showed you how to Texas rig soft plastics, how to make them weedless, etc. This video is going to be a follow-up on how to properly use a bullet weight to peg your bait. Some people say, a lot of people don't know this, some people you actually use bullet weights like this to punch your plastics through the mat, lily pads, or even in open water just to get it down to the bottom quick enough. It's a great thing. When you use a plastic, you cast it out there. When it's just Texas rig, it'll fall a little bit slow, which is good. When it's in a little bit of murky water, you want it to flutter down and kind of make a lot of flash and a lot of commotion in the water and stuff like that. But when you're punching through the mat, like that mat's usually pretty thick, right? You have weeds, a lot of milfoil, weed tops on the bottom. You want that bait to penetrate, go right through the mat, go down to the bottom where the fish are, and dangle in front. So most people use a bullet weight they put on top of their plastic. So if you notice, if you look up a lot of pitching and flipping guys, a lot of guys you hear them, they'll say, oh, I use half ounce, 3/8, 1 ounce weight, 3/4 weight, stuff like that. That's what they're referring to, is these bullet weights like that. So you can get these bullet weights anywhere, Bass Pro, Canadian Tire. A lot of people use Ultra Tungsten, Woo Tungsten. When you hear guys talking about tungsten weight, that's what these are. They are weights. There's lead, non-lead, stuff like that. A lot of guys are trying to get away from the lead just regarding the whole lead in the water with the fish. Similar to the duck hunting with the no lead shot type thing like that. So you won't really see lead around too much. Lead is usually, lead is heavy, so they're fairly big. You'll see a lot of baits now, or I think it's Woo Tungsten and Ultra Tungsten are pretty big right now. So anyway, so regarding the bullet weights, so when you put your bait on, a lot of people don't know is if you just put the bullet weight on and tie it onto your hook, you end up having a lot of, the weight will move up and down, and it's really hard to pitch and flip at a certain target when that weight moves up and down, because if you hit your target, next thing you know, the weight will fall up the line like this, and then your bait will be all the way down here. It's really inaccurate. So we're going to show you guys how to peg the bait properly, and we're going to use that using bobber stoppers. So if you guys haven't heard that before, I drew us a similar picture here. So this is how the bait's going to be. So our red line here is going to be our main fishing line, braid, whatever. And then we have a ribbon tail worm. So we got the ribbon tail worm, and then at the top, that little point there, that is going to be our tungsten weight. And what a bobber stopper is, it's just a little piece of rubber that sits on the line just before the weight to hold it in place. And it's a bobber stopper. It stops the line from moving and whatever moving. So that little rubber bobber stopper, you place it right on the line at the top of the weight, so the weight stays in place, so you have more accuracy for pitching and flipping. So what does a bobber stopper look like? I got some here. You buy them in packs for, packs for like $3.99, stuff like that. But they come like this. If you see the little black rubber, that's what the bobber stopper is. So we're going to show you how to rig that. You see they're on those little wire hangers right there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I got my Quantum meat stick sitting right here, 7.5 foot, got some braided line on it. So we're going to show you how to run this. So got your braided line. So to put a bobber stopper on, as you saw before, I'll show you again. You see the little wire opening there with the bobber stopper. So you're actually going to put your line through that hole. So you have it like this, and then you're actually going to grab the rubber bobber stopper and pull it onto the line. So you're going to grab that bobber stopper and just give it a quick pull over the loop, and then it'll end up being like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to find the main line part. So when you have your bobber stopper like this, because it's still connected to the wires, you're going to have two pieces of line. You want to just grab both ends kind of like this and just give it a bit of a pull to find out which one is your main line. So you want to grab the tag end. So you have your bobber stopper on like this. You have that little opening there on the line. You actually want to pull the side that has your tag end. So I just gotta find it here. Alright, so I found the tag end line. So you're actually just going to pull the tag end line like this, and you're going to pull it through the bobber stopper, and now it's on your line. This thing will just slide right off. So right there, now your bobber stopper's on the line. So you can actually grab the stopper and just push it up the line a little bit, just to give you some room. And then now it's on. So then what you do now is you're actually going to feed your bullet weight through. So I'm using braid, so I went in first try. So you want to feed the bullet. You obviously want the tip of the bullet going towards the bobber stopper in your main line. So then it will be like that, and that is what you punch your plastics through the muck, the mat, etc. So what we're doing now is now you tie your hook on. So basic extra wide gap hook. I'm going to tie it on quickly to show you guys. Usually what type of knot I run here with braid, I'll run a Palmer knot. But we don't really have that, I don't have that much time. I'm trying to save you time here, so I'm just going to tie a small knot. This is really improper, but it's just going to be for the video. Alright, so got that. Just going to trim this tag end off just so it helps you guys with the video here. Braided line, you always need scissors. So you have the hook, the bullet weight, and the bobber stop. So then you're just going to push that rubber bobber stop right down to the bottom. And that is how your rig is. And then what you do is you take your plastic and you, as per the first video I showed you, so you want to Texas rig your plastic. So I'll tell you what, I'll grab a plastic here and I'll rig it up for you. Got an extra wide gap, so tell you what, I'm just going to grab one of my, I'll just grab a craw chunk here and I'll just rig it quickly for you. So I've just got a simple craw chunk. I believe that's, what's that, the Yum Bad Mama craw chunk. What color is that? June bug color. We'll do product reviews later on, getting it in the season. So just going to show you how to quickly Texas rig it. So a quick recap. Bring your bait right to the start of the bend of the hook. Pop the hook out like that. Push the bait right up to the eye of the hook. Just like that. And then we're going to spin it 180 degrees. And then when we spin it 180 degrees, can't speak today, just push that up over the eyelid, and then we're going to feed the top of the bait's upside down. We're actually going to feed the hook through the belly of the plastic. Oh, that one was not center. When you are Texas rigging your plastics, you 100% want to make sure it is straight. That bait goes in straight, comes out straight. And then you're going to end up with this. So as you guys can see, that hook has penetrated the bait right down the spine. You want to just bring that up just enough so the hook is just, you can run your finger, barely touch the hook. And you want to push the bait just over the eye of the hook just to give it a little bit there. So there's your punching rig. So what you're going to do is your bullet weight will come down. You slide your bobber stopper to stop, and there is your perfect punching rig. So there is a craw chunk on a, I believe that's a 4/0 extra wide gap VMC hook with a simple Bass Pro tungsten weight. I believe you can get like 20 or 30 packs for like $5. And then a simple bobber stopper. I believe you buy 10 of them for $2 or $3.99. Perfect. So there is your ultimate punching rig there. And that is what guys are punching mats, punching weeds, flipping docks, etc. Any type of flipping or pitching is what you guys want to use. So again, when you're gonna throw a bobber stopper with weights on, you always want to, when you cut your line, you have just your line. Bobber stopper goes on first, your tungsten weight, your hook, tie it on, Palmer knot if you're using braid, and then feed your plastic on for the Texas rigging, and there is your perfect bait. So as for the weight size, all these weights come in different sizes. You have, you can get them in 16 ounce, 8 ounce, quarter ounce, 3/8, 5/8, half ounce, 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce, etc., etc. My rule of thumb when I'm punching, it depends how thick the mat is and what bait I'm using. On average up here in Ontario, Canada, I'm out of Norwood, Ontario. Generally when I'm flipping heavy mat and cover, I use 1/2 ounce or 3/4 ounce. I think I have 2 1-ounce bullet weights. I don't really use them much. On average, I'm using about 1/2 to 3/4 ounce. You just want something to penetrate the mat, get your bait down there. If I'm in light to medium weed and I just want my bait to go in down there through the weeds, on average use about a 3/8 ounce weight. If you are in light weed and you just want your bait to you're going to cast it out there a little bit and you just want it to sink to the bottom, 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce are the most common. I don't really see, if you're not flipping heavy cover, I don't really see you needing over 1/2 ounce weight unless you are in thick pads and stuff like that. If you are, you probably want to go to 1/2 ounce or 3/4 ounce. Generally a rule of thumb that I was taught when I was little is the murkier the water, the lighter weight you want, because when the water is murky, just after a rain, winds blowing, etc., you want this bait, when you hit the water, you want it to make the most flash and flutter down and really put on a show and get the attention of those bass sitting there. So with a lighter weight, with a 1/4 ounce weight, it sinks down, but it slows a little bit, falls a little bit slower, which is good. When you're in clear water, when you're flipping open docks with barely any weeds around them, you want that bait to, as soon as it hits the water, I got a little tangled here. As soon as that bait hits the water, you want it to pierce right to the bottom and hit bottom as soon as possible. Because the water is so clear, those bass, as soon as that bait hits the water, those bass are going to look, see that bait, it's going to shoot right to the bottom, and then you start working on the bottom, start doing your little twitches and stuff like that, and then the bass will go in for the strike. So that's generally the rule of thumb I was taught, is the clearer the water, the heavier the bait you want. So when it's murky, muddy water, you want a lighter weight so it takes longer and pushes a lot of water, makes more commotion, puts a bit more show on in the water for the bass. So that's the rule of thumb I use. Different guys have different opinions. So on average, I use anywhere from a 1/4 ounce to 3/8 to 1/2 ounce weights. If you look in my little clear case, these are all my Texas rigging weights you can see. I have 1/4 ounce, 3/8, 1/2 ounce. I do have a couple more, but on average, that's about what I use. So again, you don't really need to go to the weight section and you see all like different 10 sizes of weights. You don't really need to go buy them. Like maybe buy 1 or 2 if you really want, but average size, 1/4 ounce, 3/8, 1/2 ounce, you'll be set. So that's about it for Texas rigging. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to comment, and I will touch on those later. Sorry for the late video. It's been a while. Work's been killing me. My shift switch every week, so it's hard to get videos in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned. I do have some exciting news involving my 2018 bass tournament circuit. A lot of changes have happened with sponsors, partner-wise, and just a lot of changes, and we'll fill you guys in. So please stay tuned to Send the Hook TV, and good luck out there.